Hey man, I was born in New York City on a Monday. Seems like as I was out shining shoes from 2 to noon. All the bad cats with the bad hats doing me a real big favor. You got the bad cats with the bad hats playing on real good. Here's a dime, boy. Give me a shine. Ain't no place to be. But where can you go when you're down and out in New York City? A little James Brown for you. If you stay, darling, stay in my corner. Ooh. Man, that shit was starting to go out into the hall. Oh, will the power of blue argonite propel you? Will the power of blue argonite propel you? Will the power of blue argonite propel you? We giving out that Verge energy, baby. Straight up Virgin. We giving you the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt is on you. Thunderbolt is in you. Push out that energy. We give it to you in the crystal form. We give it to you in the brass, but the brass gives you the full strength of it. So this would be the full strength of this, and we send this energy out to you. May the full strength of the thunderbolt in motion be upon you. May I give you a mantra to get lost in, and of course, I am giving you this vibration also of the thunderbolt. Ah. Well, good morning, everyone. Maybe I can light up the facilities a little more. Y'all can see my handsome self. Definitely 61 and handsome, no doubt. Thank you guys for coming in. Brother Jay. Oh, yeah, you saw me put that work in. Definitely put the work in on the youngster, but he's got better. That's what I just told him. He definitely has improved his game. You can tell he's played more. A little bit. I have fun. Hey, Magbone Files, Black Caesar, Hello in Harlem. That's right. And that was one of the characters. They talk about him too. He who the character is based off of, Fred Willis, or excuse me, Fred Williamson. The Hammer played him. So hey, many blessings, the Black Jaguar God be upon you, the Jaguar Black Jaguar teacher. Absolutely, and as Brother Macbone comes in, we give it out. We talk about this several times. We give out the transformational energy, and may the transformational energy be upon you. May the magic of the Americas be upon you. But just as omens show you, this is about the transformation. And the creation ball field and its members who participate fully in the creation ball field. We give out that consciousness. But thank you, brother, for the nice words. We got to do another live. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Come up with some stuff and hit me. And yeah, we'll do a live. You know that. Hey, Lorenzo, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Saw y'all summer league team get popped by the Grizzlies. I saw a little bit of it. I got to watching that Len Bias thing, so it was some stuff I wanted to pick up out that Len Bias thing. Hey, PJ, thank you for joining. How you doing? Oh my goodness! And we should have played indoors. He asked me to come go to Lifetime and play with him, and I shouldn't have. My daughter didn't want to ride. Plus, it was supposed to storm today. We were supposed to get a storm. I let that hold up a bunch of my plans. Didn't end up really doing nothing. So we ended up going out there, and it's like 70-80% humidity. So yeah. Oh, tonight forgot to do this part. We are having the Boat Brothers Russo Irish Red. This was made a couple days ago. So pop them if you like them. And just look at this goodness. See if I won't make a mess with this big can. Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of foam, but that's all right. Rather get foam than wasted beer. So cheers to everyone. Even though I know you wish you had this cup, but cheers to everyone. And you know what's funny is A&W Root Beer used to have these barrel glasses. You know that? A&W Root Beer, but cheers to everyone. If you drink with me. And, I'm on the medibles, which they're about to outlaw. Damn. But I'm on the medibles, so smoke them if you want them, for sure. Tell you, it's not fun having that big guy's elbow like here in my back. He's like you followed me. I'm like, I'm sore from his elbow being in my neck. We can do a live and connect to the medicines of Black Jaguar, Panther, Lion, and Tiger. Oh, okay. That sounds cool. Yeah, for the brewery's beer, this is one of their stronger beers that is not an IPA. And this is 6.4. So yeah, this is pretty strong, but you just don't see them making this. Everybody likes IPAs. Killian's is this. Killian's is really probably my favorite all-time beer, but it just something they put in and I can't drink it. It gives me gas, really bad gas. You get that gas up in your chest. That's what Killian's gives me. Regular Coors, or Banquet as my son calls it, not so bad. But yeah, this is excellent. I went up there like that growler I drank. because now it's all about IPAs, and then people get away from wanting the caramels, the darker caramels and the darker malts. So this is what I enjoy. It's funny. I was watching a thing on Richard Pryor and how he goes on Johnny Carson, after being on the mend, after he set himself on fire. And he goes on Johnny Carson and say he wasn't getting high anymore because the National Enquirer was like, Richard Pryor, after burning himself up, he's back getting high again. And he come on Johnny Carson, he said he talked to the Enquirer, he said it was all a lie. So Jim Brown told the same story, after Richard Pryor died. Jim Brown said, nah, he's like, Richard was back getting high within weeks of being in the house. So it's just sad. The grip that had on people. And was re-looking at that thing about Len Bias. It's funny, they showed some footage where I was at the game. I was like, oh shit, I went to that game. You got that pivot foot working for you like Tim Duncan. That's old rocker step. I want to say Kentucky, Adolph Rump. I think he's the one that made that popular in sports, the old rocker step. But my son moved good. The best I've seen him move. I mean, he still has to learn how to shoot, but to have fun and be productive, running up and down with people, getting in shape, he could get it. But yeah, I just messing with him. I could always dribble. I ain't played. I mean, it's obvious. I ain't played in. Like, I've shot a little bit with my daughter, but just playing, I ain't really shot. That's why I didn't shoot no jumpers, because I just knew I didn't have any touch. Plus, no net, definitely, without touch. But I would torch him in a regular gym because I shoot much better in the regular gym. So he would have a much harder time because I wouldn't have to just back him up. But he said, I really didn't want to hit you, which is good too. So he's going to get better, he's going to get better. He hasn't really played, but he has the passion. And so that's why I played with him. I kind of wanted to just see where he was at. It's all just teasing him and stuff. I'm hurting more now than he's hurting. Yeah, I mean, he'll be able to just go in the gym and play with people, and I'll tell you, the one thing that basketball gives you that not too many sports give you is the full cardio workout, sprints. So you're really working your heart. You're really working your heart. That's why you would see bigger dudes, as long as they going back up and down and they're playing consistently, and maintaining weight, they really can get in shape, especially hoop shape. I mean, hoop shape is really great shape. I mean, when you have it working, you have it working. I mean, when you're in hoop shape, I mean, it's people that can play and there's people that get into hoop shape. And so that is something that I've experienced a thing or two. I didn't nowhere near hoop shape. It took me 3 or 4 shots just to make my hip feel right. JR. That guy was weak. Yeah, we talk about my son. No, my son JR, my son can't hoop. Not really. He just has found passion for playing, but no, he can't really hoop. He is weak. He is weak. Like his other brother, I couldn't beat him. He knows what I'm gonna do. My older boy, he knows what I'm gonna do. Plus, he can shoot and he can dribble. My son can't really dribble. He dribbles a little better than what he did, but my other son can shoot and dribble good. So he would be more formidable. But I'd like to see them two play. But because I know my other son, though, he hasn't played in a while either. He's just been working. Him and his lady just been working, grinding. So, but I have fun. I have fun with my son, and that's what we do. My daughter with a little smart commentary. She's just so funny. But because he wanted to play her next, or he said he would play me and her, and I had fun. Didn't get to play pickleball today. Was going to play pickleball with few people today and didn't get the chance. The weather was really a big factor today, and never did anything but been muggy. I mean, super muggy. It had to be 75% humidity up here today. And it was 86, 87 degrees. Early this morning we had well, maybe that was yesterday, we had the deep thunder, the thunder boom, but it was supposed to storm, didn't come through. Ended up being a pleasant night. Very pleasant night. But I just turned the air off and where I am now. So it's 80, got the fan on, it's comfortable. Air's in my room though. But not out here. It's comfortable out here. It's comfortable. So I'm not gonna go terribly late tonight. Neck's a little stiff. I gotta put some medicine on it. You know, I want to say this. You know, get back to looking at the Len Bias thing. Like in the book that came out about Len Bias, there was two possibilities. In the thing from '09 that came out, there's articles that say he smoked freebase. And I, you know, the book gives both scenarios. But one thing that comes out that shocked me, and I never really paid enough attention to it, where it says he got pure cocaine. They said that the cocaine that was in his body was pure. So it shows that, you know, he was set up. Shows he was definitely set up. Sacrifice for a lot of people, probably mainly Michael Jordan. Because I've watched people smoke massive amounts of crack. You know how David Chappelle, they had the big rock, and he said the rock would last them for a few hours. And I haven't seen anybody that happen to anybody, where you have a seizure, and that affects the electrodes, that affects the signals from your brain to your heart. So you start having heart failure because your brain is not. It's kind of like Alzheimer's. What it eventually does is it takes away the ability for the body to make these natural decisions, is even decisions to just keep breathing. So he was definitely sacrificed and attacked. And like we were showing, Sly was showing with the Kevin Samuels 911 calls, and her saying his name. This dude says Len Bias' name. Trimble says he first called his mom. Before he even calls 911, first he says he calls his mama. Then they call 911 because he said, well, you know, my sister had seizures and it was never a life-threatening thing. But that dude slipped him some stuff. He slipped him some stuff. And the propaganda, Snowfall gave the propaganda that he was just the most thirsty. He couldn't stop. You know, this is how they showing him. You know, this is shaming him again all these years later. 30 plus years later, they shamed him on Snowfall. When all his girl and all these people now, remember, Adrian Branch was busted in D.C. for coke. And Adrian Branch still went to the NBA. I don't even think he was only suspended for a little while. He's a little older than Bias. So he was definitely attacked. As I said to before, Don Rogers the following week wasn't an accident. They went after him. Your boy is going to coach him on how to beat you. I couldn't see him now. God, Dad, he's right. He can't go left. Now, you know I was going both ways. You saw I was using both hands. I was killing him with the left. I could keep the distance from him. He did block one of my shots, though. And, you know, like you just look at, like when I was younger, I could always handle the ball. I always could handle the ball. So, and handling the ball and being quick, you know, I was always able to make cuts. Like I think my greatest ability, that probably in some ways was unmatched, is being able to make the cuts on people, being able to dribble and make a cut, like a wide receiver would make cuts. I think I was one of the best at that. But just fun to play. Sports will help you meet a lot of people. Help you move around, and help you have a healthy lifestyle. That's what I'll say. You know, so even just going out there shooting baskets, raising your heart up. I watched a lady, and she was older than me at the time. So I was in my 40s. So she might have been around my age. I was in my 40s. I don't remember why I was at the park so long. Maybe messing with my daughter when she was little in the sand at the school. I can't remember because there was no sandbox in the park. So I don't remember why I was at the park so long. But I was there, and maybe I was playing fight or something. This lady worked out. This older lady worked out for a good hour, if not longer. She worked out for a good hour. She was just shooting jumpers, layups, working on her handle. But you could just tell at one point in her life it was that important to her. One of my friends just told me, she said that it was like shooting baskets help her stress reduce. And she was never really a player, but just throwing them up and playing with her children kind of helps her release some stress. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, that's where it was. They've been showing 30 for 30 all day. And so I caught it. Matter of fact, I taped the 30 for 30. Yeah. They showed it from 2009. That was a 30 for 30 for 2009. And then Snowfall portrayed him. And so listen to the first-hand account. It just doesn't look like he did a whole lot like they tried to say. Looked like he got a hot pack. And they let that Brian Tramble dude go. They let him off because he was working for them. That just proves. Because he got the cocaine. There's no doubt that Lynn gave him the money. He went and got the cocaine. So isn't that what do they call that? That's selling cocaine in a way. That's trafficking. Do you think he just did it for the amount of cocaine he got to snort? He didn't make any profit or nothing on it. He was just like, well, I'm getting this for Lynn, and I just straight up deal. That's trafficking. If I give you the money and you go buy drugs, that's trafficking drugs. That's the exchange of drugs. And at an ounce amount, any good prosecutor could get you for trafficking at an ounce. And where a person dies, right now they get you for that law. As I told the story last night about the fentanyl story, my neighbor. But yeah. And Brian is a drug counselor. Like I said, around that time, Brian was dating Vivian, and Vivian had came home. Vivian had came home that summer, and I ran into Vivian, and we was just like all just smoking weed, drinking a little bit, and they just got to talking. We was talking about Vanessa Williams because Earl always had a big poster of Vanessa Williams showing her shit. That was in the Playboy or Hustler, whichever magazine that had Vanessa Williams pull out. We was kind of talking about that. And then somebody brought some shit up and just mentioned about Lynn. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I used to talk to him. Or no, matter of fact, she was like, I talked to him. That's what she said. She started kind of breaking down who he was a little bit. And that he got off. He did his mission. So, but I was saying, I was watching when they won the ACC tournament. I thought it was his freshman year. It was his sophomore year. They beat Carolina, and he turned it out. That was when, because they beat Carolina in Carolina, and national TV game. But it was at the Greensboro Coliseum, and I watched. No, that game was up in Carolina. No, the game was in Greensboro. Yeah, and I was at that game, and Len Bias, I was like his coming out party. He put it on him. Kenny Smith, you said Kenny Smith was on the team then. I think Jordan was in the league because him and Jordan was actually the same age, born in 1963. But watching the 30 for 30, Benji Wilson again. Watch Benji Wilson thing. That was a hit. Sacrifice for Nick Anderson, Marcus Liberty. Trying to think who else came during that time because it looked like Benji was heading to Illinois with them. Just think if they'd have had him when they played Michigan in the championship or in the Final Four. So, and he was definitely killed. He was lured out to school and killed by people waiting for him. By a woman that had his child. She did that to him. And apparently the child is, apparently his son died too. Benji Wilson's son apparently died, And it's like, Danny. Oh yeah, definitely. This PJ sent me this one from the Den in Memphis. And definitely. Hopefully this week though, I'm gonna try to get this mail off. So if I can get it together, get this mail off. I got one more. Got to go back. Yeah, get a couple more things to send with this stuff. But yeah, hopefully get this stuff off this week. So yeah. Have fun with everybody. But not a whole lot going on. Watched a few of the summer league games a little bit. Twins won tonight, beat the Rangers. Yeah, Twins won. Oh, SD hasn't come in a while, and CWE, he ain't came in a while either. And the Yankees got beat again. Yankees lost tonight. Yeah, Yankees lost to the Red Sox. So them two that love both of those two teams haven't been in for a while to brag about their teams because they're big baseball fans. So, and most people that watch me aren't really baseball fans. So, Rudelated. Rudel. So I can get it to dance in the light a little bit. This Rudel is in this crystal. Mm-hmm. Let's see what where the energies are tonight. See, are there any haters watching tonight? Are there any haters watching tonight? Uh-oh. No haters tonight. All right. No haters tonight. Glad to see that. Let's send out the energy of abundance to all. Let's send out the energy of abundance. What do you think? Let's send out that energy of abundance. Let's create some type of motion that will help all that's watching with their abundance. Yeah. Let's get that for everybody. Let's get everybody to work with some type of abundance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Push the angles out. To be good in magic, you got to work on it. We are all spiritual people. And the system is made to take your spirituality away from you, to burn that away from you. But Ben was quick-tempered, so they knew how to lure him to make the hit on him. Also, baby mama declined to do the interview. I felt something was fishy with that. Oh, definitely. He punched the teacher, remember? He had punched the teacher. Okay, by him punching the teacher and snapping at people, I'll say this. This is what we did see. White man can't jump. Or no, excuse me. No. The Jesus Shuttleworth movie with Denzel and Ray Allen showed that. See, what it was is he had all that pressure on him as being the one that's going to get the family out of the doldrums. And all this pressure was starting to come on him. And this young man probably didn't have anybody to really blow that steam off about it. And so, you could say that about me at that same age. I'm snapping at people. I ain't never blast no teacher. I almost popped my mom though. My mom was a mad whooper, and I was like, I was like, no more whooping. It's not funny, but I was like, hey, no more of that hitting me shit. But I look at that as yes, I agree with you that they took advantage of his temperament. They definitely took advantage of his temperament. They used her to, definitely used her to lure him out of school, and they had people laying and waiting for him, and he was definitely sacrificed. And you know, taking out Oregon. I mean, it's just I don't know. Then she moved away not too long after that. Yeah, she got some money. Straight setup. Definitely a straight setup. No way the story makes any sense. You gonna shoot a dude because he bump into you? You know, really? You got a gun. You ain't supposed to be over there. You up the street from a fucking school. You ain't going to school. So we know a hit when we see a hit. I mean, hell, he killed him at 14, 15, 16, so he out. He probably in his 50s and he out. You see, he went to prison so young that 20 whatever life, because life used to be 20 years. That used to be considered life. So dude done did 20, 25 years. He out. He's on the interview. They interview him. So it was a hit. But this is how our people have always been sacrificed. I mean, Sam Cooke lured out the same kind of way. As far as we know, Sam Cooke could have been just drunk. They could have shot Sam Cooke anywhere. Could have drugged him and then threw a coat on him. Like he gonna run out the room and just put a jacket on with no pants. And that he scared the people that done stole his money, probably drugged him, stole his money, and he trying to get his money back. And he banging on the door. We don't even that story's not even believable. So he was murdered, but he was murdered in a way that it put question. And anytime people are murdered in a way that puts that type, no, he wasn't even murdered. You know, they called it pretty much self-defense, justified. They didn't get in any trouble for that, so we know it was a hit. Now the Michael Jackson thing, kind of hard to say. Same with the Elvis thing. Talk to some people. They enjoyed the Elvis movie. That's what's interesting. It's good music. And I've told the story. I told you guys the story. I saw Elvis. I meant to look this up. My friend John Farmer's wasn't even his stepdad. It was his mother's boyfriend, I believe. Rick. Rick loved Elvis, and Rick camped out there. If I remember the story right, it was Rick that camped out there. Rick was from Mexico. He was matter of fact, Rick was a professional Mexican baseball player. So I don't know if he was in the area living there to trial for the Tigers. I'm not sure, but Rick was a professional Mexican baseball player. He played professional baseball in Mexico. But he camped out for days to get these damn tickets. I think that was Rick. But yeah, he camped out to get them tickets. And one of them couldn't go or didn't want to go or act bratty. One of the younger brothers, he had a younger brother named Michael, didn't want to go or I don't know. And they asked me. And so the music was good, you know. He was a big, fat kind of guy. Yeah, he wasn't moving too much. He did do karate. Singing was cool, you know. I guess it was hard to grow up in my period and not dig Elvis. It really was. You don't know how often and how quickly the Elvis movies was on TV and played all the time. All the time. I've seen, I'm sure, every Elvis movie. So, did I ever buy an Elvis record? Absolutely not. Did I ever record an Elvis record to put on a mixtape? Absolutely not. I think my favorite song of Elvis is the one about the jail something. Is that Heartbreak Hotel or whatever jail? Jail doing the jailhouse rock. That video. That doing the jail, I think that's it, doing the jailhouse rock. That is probably in my top 5 of all time music videos. And then this is in a movie. But He made a music video that they put in the movie. Shit, 30 years before music videos came out. In Jailhouse Rock, that shit is a music video. But I guess my favorite song is She's Just a Honka Burning Love. We used to roller skate to that shit. Elvis would come on, a honka shit, everybody skating around. And it was like Elvis kind of pop. But that's probably my favorite Elvis song. I've been down to Graceland. I don't know how you can go to Memphis and not go to Graceland. And I've been down there when they had the plane. I don't know if the plane is still down there, but I got to see the plane and I got to see Graceland. Yeah. So I don't know. I might watch the movie. I get movies free. So when I leave here tonight, I might watch the movie. Oh my goodness. I had to put my TENS unit on. The hooping. Made me stiff. Probably too much of this. Stiff as hell. I'm gonna need a massage, as they say. My daughter's mother went to the casino, won $300 tonight. She's rolling. She won 300 big ones. Him and James Brown was the first to try and set up a distribution label for us. Sam got killed. The reason they didn't get James because they saw potential in him. James telling us to be black. Yeah, they used James for the psyop. Well, you know, and he got Sam also got his masters. Sam was the first one to win and get his masters, and he gets killed shortly after getting his masters. Yeah, he never says it though, does he? James never says it. James tell you straight up he was Cherokee. He never say he was. It's interesting when they said his dad worked on I forget the type of trees they get turpentine from, but he says dad, well, got turpentine, tapped the trees and turpentine from them. Turpentine is some stinky shit. One time, I don't know what my dad had, but my dad had like just a glass jar. And I smelled it, and the first time coming across turpentine, you're like, woo, what is this shit? So my dad is most impatient. I think I picked up a little of that. So he's most impatient. And so, I put the cap back on this shit because I didn't know shit. This shit like smelled fucked up. So I kept the cap on it. And so this nigga takes it from me and opens it up and he sticks his whole face in it. I mean, that's this impatient mug, He was just totally impatient and he just like, and this is in his car. This shit is in his car. I'm like, this is in his back seat. And I just came across it fucking with shit. And this motherfucker, and his eyes started watering and shit. He's like, why didn't you tell me? And even with my little boy logic, I looked at the mug and I said, that's why I asked you what it was. And I just looked out the window. I wanted to laugh at him because I'm like, Bug, I didn't know what it was. I asked you, but you doing 100 miles an hour and you just impatient. You just, it was just kind of funny watching the tears. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, why didn't you tell me? Mug, I didn't know what the shit was, So how could I warn you? The shit smelled fucked up. I thought you would know what it is. Obviously you did. Obviously you knew what it was and it's in your car. So how you got some turpentine smelling shit in your car? Or ammonia shit. That's what it was. It was some type of, the jar had ammonia. Excuse me, not ammonia. So it's funny to me. Impatient pops. Oh, this is by far the best beer. So I'm going to drink this beer. I'll rap for a little longer. I am kind of stiff sitting here. Being up and about, I'm okay. But when I sit down and get all stiff, I think I just, I don't know, some nerve shit. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right, y'all. That's why I got all this stuff. I had a TENS unit on. The TENS unit is like putting them pads and put it in the perfect place. And it's better than the massage. It's like sending them currents to you. Healing. That's part of sports. You have to learn how to heal. And I'll say that's more like God-like. ability. You get hurt doing sports and you heal, and once you heal, you go back and do sports. That's godlike. You can heal from a sports injury. Icy hot? No, I do not have any icy hot. I have what's called, what I'm gonna put on because I didn't want to put this shit in my shirt, but I have actually, and I've showed this before. I have some what's called uh it's actually cream Advil. It's a type of cream that's liquid, or not liquid, but it's cream Advil, and I'll put that in my bag. So when I go to bed, that's what I'm gonna do, and that helped a lot before because it really last time it was all in my neck. It ain't that bad in my neck; it's more in my shoulders. But I have that, and that's some good stuff. I got a couple tubes of that, and that is really good stuff. So I'll put that on when I go to bed. I took another muscle relaxer to kind of chill while I'm sitting here. So yeah. But I use BioFreeze too. My chiropractor has BioFreeze, and he has the spray. I like it. Like, don't get the BioFreeze cream, man. You put that shit on your hand, and if you turn your hand, that shit. I mean, it's great stuff. But when they did their cream, their cream is hard. It's like the cream just runs off your hand. I mean, it really does. You wherever you put it, you got to be quick to put it, because if you do this and any kind of that shit will. So. But they have the spray and they have the rub. And a lot of stores sell that. I think Walmart sells that shit. I'll say the worst violence I ever saw on a basketball court. Guy was a pretty good friend of mine. Actually, I didn't know both people. The other guy knew all his brothers. His brothers, I grew up with his brothers. But the one that was involved, again, I knew him pretty well. I dated his sister but knew him fairly well. So we was all at the basketball court, and we was hooping with this one-eyed dude. Dude had one eye and shit. And so him and Hickey got into it over. We just playing pickup ball, and him and Hickey had just talked shit to each other. And so he was playing, and Hickey, I guess, quit, or I don't remember, but Hickey came back. He hit that nigga so hard with a stick in his good eye, I bet he lost sight in that eye too. Hickey just came back and just hit that nigga in his good eye, and I mean, all that blood just got out. And then my boy Thad came and got his brother. My boy Thad later, who got killed, came and got his brother. And that was the only time I saw that brother, but that was probably the worst violence I ever saw at a basketball court. I mean, I'm pretty sure he lost his other eye. I mean, Hickey just caught him. Yeah. And just talking shit. It's like that dude didn't do nothing, and maybe it was something before, but Hickey fucked him up. Yep. I thought I saw, BioFreeze. Yeah, BioFreeze is pretty common. You see commercials of it. But don't get the cream. The cream runs off your hands. It's not hard to apply, but you really got to apply it quick. That's why the spray is pretty good too. And now you can get, I want to say the Icy Hot people sell type of TENS units, temporary TENS units. Mall of America sold TENS units as long as it's been out there. You can buy TENS units, not like mine, but yeah. Yeah, Hickey fucked that dude up. And I doubt that Dunning dude is alive. But yeah, Hickey, that was the worst. As I said before, I cleared the park out with the Sharper Image sold a Uzi. And I mean, it looked just like a Uzi. And it loaded like a Uzi, and you just had blanks. And I cleared out the park. Talking shit to me. I'm like, okay. But I pulled that Uzi out. Pop, 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 pop. And you hear what people don't, the sound is scary, but hearing all the metal, hearing all that brass is dropping too. Motherfucker ain't bullshitting. The shot people in their minds think, because you hearing the pop, 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 but you also hearing ting, 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 ting. And I just was doing like this with that. I shot about 100 rounds off. In the park, everybody took off. Niggas in the car driving off and shit. I'm just sitting there. I kind of laugh at this shit. I'm kind of laughing. Seemed like one of my guys was with, but I cleared the whole motherfucking park out. The fucking blank pistol, basically. An automatic blank pistol at that. But hey, motherfucker looked like a Uzi. And you can still see fire coming out of it. It looked like you was shooting it. He was seeing fire come out because, you know, Blank, you remember it was an actor. It was an actor in Hollywood. This nigga had a hit show, and for some reason, he took the pistol with the blank cartridge and put it up beside his head and shot it. And, you know, and the wad that comes out is what killed him, you know, because it still got, you know, a blank still shoots something out. So you still seeing fire and shit out the muzzle. You know, I ain't like it. And you ain't seeing shit. You just ain't hearing nothing hit down the road. But just having just crazy. But people don't know. But it was a fun toy. It was a fun toy for sure. That was a good day today. Spent the weekend with my daughter, which is always good. Cooking and stuff. Got to play a lot of pickleball with my daughter. Got to work out with my son a little bit, see his enthusiasm. So this was beautiful, ready to bring in this week. Go back to work in tomorrow afternoon. Get a few things done. Looking forward to everything. So, yeah, every day. I think I'm going to break down a video of showing my son's computer. I want Nick and Ciola to see that. So I think I'm going to do that. And thank you guys for watching the videos and coming on and leaving me call me Taliban. Now I've told the story before in Greensboro. That bitch shot at us. This chick shot at us. As I said before, we was just out playing backgammon. We wasn't even paying attention, and the dude down at the end of the hall, a couple of doors down. I don't know what the young boy did, but he grabbed that motherfucker and kind of bitch slapped him a couple times. I mean, he really did. He like grabbed him by his collar and like pop, 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 and let him go. And we were like, well, that was interesting, but we was playing backgammon, smoking, drinking. We had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with that. And the next thing we know, a black woman is like, man, 20 feet from us with a 12 gauge, and then she pumps it, and we're like, because she comes out and says, who's fucking with my baby? And we're like, but we see this bitch in front of us, and all we did is like, the apartment door was there. We all tried to dive in the door at the same time, and I just remember hearing that shit hitting the walls. We had tile floors. I remember the pellets hitting the floors and shit. Oh shit. And we had nothing to do with it. That bitch shot at us. And I remember I got fired and I had the closet that had some of the guns in it. I like grabbed my shit off the closet, went out there. We went in front of her house because they got their shit too. And we just shooting up in her house. And she had children. She had little children too. We just shooting up in her house. Like, bitch, we will fucking kill you. We didn't kill her, but we tried for shooting at us. Because as I dove in my house, I had a little hall closet. I had a couple rifles in. I grabbed my rifle and we started shooting that bitch like the gauntlet. We just shooting up in that bitch. Boom, 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 boom. You're like, fuck this hoe. We was going to kill all of them. It was like that old dog said, I don't care who up in there. We killing everybody trying to kill you. And that was my mentality. I didn't care. I was going to kill everybody up in there. And luckily, I don't think we did. Hey, you gave your son that barbecue chicken. I had some fun with him, you know. I had some fun with him for sure. I'm just glad he's enthusiastic about working out. Oh, man. Oh, and I forgot to tell, you know, this is always my sidekick. No one's fool. He talks shit every now and then. He has something to say. I have to translate the shit he say, because if he said, you wouldn't understand the shit he said. You'd hear it and you'd like, I don't know what this motherfucker said. So I kind of speak clown language, I guess. I jumped through a window and ran home because my boy's cousin looked like an undercover cop. I jumped through a window. I love parties. When I was like hooping and shit, we went to a party and my main guy, one of my main guys, like came in there laughing and shit, and he dropped his gun. He had like a 45, and he dropped his gun, And I told my boy, I'm like, Ronnie drunk, man. I ain't gonna be around Ronnie with this goddamn gun because I knew Anthony had it. Because Ronnie and Anthony, both of them had guns. And I'm like, I ain't gonna be around these motherfuckers. And my boy's like, oh, you scared? I'm like, fuck this. Ronnie drunk, and Ronnie and Anthony both got guns, and them niggas drunk. I'm going. So you coming with me? Come with me. You little like I'm gonna be all that, but I'm not gonna be here with them two niggas like this. And so I left. I left my guy. And I told y'all this story weeks ago. This same friend, here I come. We done won the gold bowl. I got a little bit of shine in me, like I might have a chance. And this nigga, we about to go to the club to see my cousin Mike Ronaldo Walden play at the club. This one of his relatives' club, matter of fact. And this nigga pulls into an alley and told me to sit tight. Starts putting like we call it just a ski mask on today, but he put a ski mask on. He put some shit around there, and he was like, "Hold tight." I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna rob this little gas station. You just sit here, don't do nothing." I'm like, "Where your gun?" And he pulled off a sawed-off little 2-shot, about this big. And I said, "Well, you know what, buddy? I'll tell you what. The club ain't too far from here. If you're successful, I'll see you at the club. I am not sitting here while you do that shit." So. But that's how motherfuckers will try to do you. So I guess, a little armed robbery was his way of impressing me. It was his way of, I know you've done great things in football, but I'm doing great things in the robbery department. I guess he wanted to just show me his robbery skills by me tagging along. I guess it's like, you can ride with the cop. You can ride with the robber. Yeah, I wasn't with that shit. Two drunk niggas with guns and they expect you to stay around. Oh, definitely. I knew them niggas too. I'm like, Now Ronnie, I loved Ronnie. But like, I'm not gonna be around drunk Ronnie. Drunk Ronnie with a 45. Yeah, definitely had to go up out of there. And there really wasn't that many people there anyway. Wasn't no hoes up in there. It was like whoever gave the party, a couple people. And so then he come in there, him and Anthony. And wow, this shit is like 40 some years ago. I still remember this shit. I can damn near tell you damn near what they even wore. Isn't that crazy? My brother says I might have a little bit of a photographic memory, but I can damn near tell you what them niggas had on too. I can tell. I could go back to show you the house. I remember what house it was. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about it. I want to say it was the Bennett's house. Now I think back about it. The Bennett's was giving a party. And that's a crazy story. The Bennett family, man. So I guess the only way to say it is to say it. So the mama started having sex with her older son in some kind of way to where it got out that she was having sex with her older son. And they took, because she had young children. Like he was probably 18. She had 3-4-year-olds still when she was having sex with her son. Some kind of way the word got out and they took the younger children from her. My friend Todd, and I told this story before, and my friend Todd was one of the younger children they took out. But they took about 5 children out of her home. Sure enough, the robbery department. The robbery department. Exactly. And I don't try to cloud my friend, but the shit is just my friend, very sick shit. But my friend it's the story of him, This motherfucker shoots somebody, a little bit of self-defense, but he shot a nigga. Shot a European cat. And while waiting, he got out of, somebody told he shot the dude. While out going through the trial of shooting someone, he decides to, rob a store at the mall. And his plan was to go in one way and go out the back door. He probably walked around the mall and thought, I can go in and get out that door. Well, you couldn't get out the back doors. There's only one way to come in. I think they had a garage, they had a garage, a dock. But the door he saw, apparently you couldn't go in and out of it. I don't know. But when he went through the back, there was no way to get out the store, so he had to go back through the store. And as I said before, his famous getaway was the bus. His famous getaway was the getaway on the bus. So, which is kind of a humorous story in itself. But I'm glad he turned it all around, doing good. Roughing with the crew I rough with. He does that. He working. I mean, I ain't lying on the nigga, If I'm lying, he'll know. That's the nigga. That's what the nigga did. I still love him. Ain't like I don't. My brother knows that story. It ain't just me. Niggas that was around didn't know that story. So it ain't just me know that story. So nigga can't get mad at me for the truth. I ain't the greatest. Motherfuckers can say shit about me and probably be right. Them niggas know me. So it ain't like, I'm some holy motherfucker. I never said that. Never said I was beyond reproach. I am not beyond reproach. I just do the best I can. That's all. And that's all we all can do. Is the best we can. And try to find joy wherever we can find it. If taking a nap gives you joy, take it. That's how it is where I work. We have one way in and one way out. Yeah, a lot of money places do. A lot of money places do. So he didn't do very good surveillance. But it's still funny that, like somebody had to say that he got away on the bus, and they're all sitting there, he's sitting there like thinking, they're not going to know it's me. I'm just one of the bus riders. Can you imagine just sitting there, you sitting there like, oh, they ain't going to know it's me. I'm just sitting here. There ain't nobody really see me. They just saw a dark-skinned dude running through the crowd. Then they're like, hey, you coming with us. What do you mean? I've been on the, where did I get on? Everybody like, at the mall. Yeah, he just got on at the mall. Bus driver, where did he get on? He just got on at the mall. He paid, though. He did pay, got a transfer. Nigga had time to get a transfer. This is a true story. I mean, it's just funny. And he ended up doing, golly, about 15 years, something like that. 11. I think he did initially 11 years. He did 11 straight, got out, and went back and did 5, I think. And I got another friend that did 10 because he wouldn't snitch. And I can't say yay or nay, but the person he didn't snitch on, they didn't never take care of him for doing that. They didn't never take care of him for doing that. Because the same dude that busted him busted the other guy. So he did 10. I don't know. He took it on the chin, but it's kind of hard to say. He didn't get any loyalty from not snitching. That's, as I said, my other dude that did 16, yeah, when he was in court, then people came by and dropped his family off, his wife, $250,000. Beginning of his things, went to him, dropped that lettuce on him, telling me you're going to have to take it on the chin. He went 16 years and never told on anybody. As I said, they waiting for him when he got out. He'd been taken care of. That's the kind of loyalty you want. And my friend, I know he didn't get that. I missed. Okay, let me look at that one first. One of the bus boys. That's why, unless you jump in barbed wire, there's only one way in and one way out. Exactly. Bus boys. My homeboy got locked up for robbing the gas station. that he lived across the street from. Damn. I had a friend say he robbed a gas station. He had a big like rifle in his pant leg. So he's done walked the block, you know. And so they go in the gas station. He pulls this big rifle out to rob him, you know. And his getaway, he got to walk back, you know, try to run with this rifle in his pants. I'm just listening to the story like this nigga's stupid as hell. Yeah, that is funny, Lorenzo. Across the street. Well, you know, I was telling about, you know, Chubb. When Chubb got murdered, they was robbing the gas station. They lived in apartments. And my friend I'm talking about and his brother Chubb that got killed, you know, they was robbing the gas station. They was robbing the 7-Eleven across from the apartments. They lived in apartments across the street. And they was robbing that gas station. And I believe that is what happened. They was robbing something when they got stopped, and then Chubb ran. They shot him while he was running. Somebody screamed gun, and we know who shot him if he's still alive. So, but that's what them niggas was doing, robbing this place across the gas station. That was like their ATM. That was their personal ATM. Rob the shit across the gas station, the shit across the street. And like my friend was, he had been doing this as teenagers. You know, his nickname was Sneak. Literally, his closet was full of clothes, and he never hardly wore the clothes, which I was like, why don't you wear your clothes? I mean, he had a closet full of shirts. I mean, like 30, 40 shirts, 30, 40 pair of pants. And the word was there was a fashion store, you know, sell clothes brothers like that. He had robbed the store, and that was his nickname was Sneak. I had another homeboy that did 20 years for a robbery where he didn't snitch. Wow, that's a hard bit. Wow. He did up to 3 years for it. Damn. Okay. Damn. You know, he was dogging you for getting turned out. You know, my subscribers is laughing at your monkey ass for losing. Oh, let me tell you about this clown nigga. This nigga here, all the way home, he's telling about how he was gonna beat me.
Bro,
the whole.
We played on an 11-foot rim in like 150 degrees. How the fuck did you break this?
I don't know. I'm about to go buy another one. Okay. What was the word you said? We. So circumstances was the same.
See, I only play on 10-foot. You've been playing since the fucking Stone Age when y'all niggas didn't even have tape measures and shit. Y'all niggas couldn't even measure a hoop.
Okay, all I heard was excuse.
12-foot rims and shit.
Okay, what's gonna happen when I'm inside? You think when I'm inside I'm not gonna shoot better?
Gonna dunk on your ass.
Yeah, okay. You're not gonna get the ball. When we're inside, I even shoot better.
I can shoot. Playing good defense.
Well, my back is sore from you putting your elbow in my neck pretty much.
That was all of your weight. I was right here, nigga. You were backing into my elbow.
So you had to
that was not illegal.
Hand check me.
It wasn't illegal.
It is illegal. That's why my back hurts.
It was not illegal, nigga.
He talked shit to me for 20 minutes on how he was going to beat me. 20 minutes of listening to this bullshit. And you saw him huffing and puffing and shit. He's about to have a heart attack. You know, I brought the paddles to the court and shit. I kind of, okay, pick that shit up. Don't look at it.
I'm mixing it still.
You mixing it. Okay. My microphone's picking up your mixing. Go mix the shit in your goddamn room, nigga, down.
How would it pick it up?
Why are you out here still?
Because I was mixing my salad.
You're making it dark all around me. I need this lighter light. At least they didn't do what Anthony Anderson and Lawrence Tate did in Barbershop, robbing the ATM that didn't have no money in it. I told this story before, and I'm pretty sure I moved in this house, and this house has some robbing tips. And one of the tips is to, and this was before ATMs was really bolted to the ground. You know, they had the little booths. I don't know if y'all remember. ATMs used to be in standalone booths. And somebody wrote a book and was saying, you just get the goddamn wrap chains around the ATM and just snatch it. And I'm pretty sure this house I've rented, these people, they did that. This ATM that was near, I remember when it got snatched. Actually, you know, I used to be an armed guard, and there's more money generally in ATMs than there are in banks. There's very few banks that get a lot of cash. Very few. Some banks got as less as 4 or 5,000 a week. Um, the average bank, like Pay Week, might have got about 11 grand. Wasn't a whole lot of cash. There was one place we dropped $1 million off every week. It was only one place, and it was a bank. So, but most banks don't have money. What is he mixing? Oh, he made a salad. He made a salad, you know, and you know the ready-made salads, and he put the shit in it, and he was mixing that shit, and the shit was going all over the floor and shit. So, we y'all thought he was cooking crack in my kitchen, you know. Yeah, like you see how y'all thinking? Y'all thinking, oh, he's mixing crack. Whip it, whip it, whip it. Now he had a salad. He was mixing the salad up and shit. He was very intense though. I was just looking at him. Just why do you need to just stand up and whip a salad? You know, that's just showing you how funny this shit is. Oh my goodness. Mm. But yeah, I'm not gonna go too much longer. It's not a lot went on today. Summer league games tomorrow. Baseball. I know the Twins are off the next 2 days. Camp starts towards the end of the month, so all of the Vikings in Edina, you can go watch them practice out there. You pay going to the where they have, you know, they charge people watch the Vikings practice. They used to once their practice facility was near me, but then they built a brand new facility that's in Edina. And that's not really terribly far, about 25 minutes on the highway. Not terribly far, if that far. If it takes, it's not that far, especially without traffic. So I'm going to give the words of Mora. Don't have a lot to say tonight. But again, as I try to put this every night, you can kind of put this in your own life on how you should rest if you're being bothered, especially. And if you're being bothered at night, you really have to set up your room, and you just have to discuss with your room things around you that should be protecting you. And curtains can be very protective. Actually, if you look at the spiritual reason of curtains, it is to protect you, like curtains in your bedroom especially. It is to protect you, absorb, you know. And so feel protected as you rest. Don't feel that anything can attack you. Just feel protected. And those of you working, may you work safely, arrive home safely. Remember, love has no equal. Love is supreme. Love just is. Love comes with no condition. Love is unconditional. That's the only real love. If you only love when you love back, then you ain't really in love. Well, he stopped loving me, so I quit loving him. I'd say cheap. So, more, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent, which is the Milky Way. And it doesn't matter if you think they're, the hip, you think it is the flat plane or round, whatever. Because really, in the moment, none of that shit matters. You know that? Doesn't matter in the moment. Hey, Sherry Lita, thank you for joining. You catch me, I'm moving on. I'm about to, I know it's a delay, but I'm about to hang it up for tonight. And then I'll be on Thursday morning. Naturally, not on Mondays and Tuesdays. Or Tuesday and Wednesday morning. I'll be back on Thursday morning unless I leave a note. And so thank you guys again for making the channel what it is. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you there, brother. How you doing, James? Sorry, because I'm about to cut it. I I don't know. I don't know if I got any more stories. If I can come across another story. It's funny, like even coming up with the little songs beforehand. It amazes me how some songs I know damn near the whole songs. I don't know just the hook. I know the whole song. So that kind of amazes me. Like Kung Fu Fighting. I know almost all that song, and I did have that 45 where I could just play it all over again, and be in the room. Ha, Bruce Lee and shit. I'm all in my room because I had a little stereo. Like I was in 7th grade and Kung Fu Fighting was out. And I'm pondering because it just some other thoughts came up, and it's just, they try to say things are over sexualized now, but I don't know. I just growing up, it was always that kind of thing was always there. So I don't know if it's more now. I mean, children. I can say shit. The shit was starting in 3rd grade. I can say didn't hear nothing about it in kindergarten, first and second. Then I lived in the hood with my father and started hearing this shit. So I don't know if it's ever been not where it's not just talked about and people don't learn about it. My daughter told me some shit today. I was like, who the fuck said that shit to you? It's like, my friend, I'm like, she said that shit to you? I said, your mama know if she said that shit to you? She's like, well, no. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm going to talk to your mom about that. I can't remember some shit she said, but I'm like, what? What did you say? Tell me that story again. She's like, so, you start hearing the bullshit. You start hearing it. So I do not think it's any more prevalent. It's always been prevalent. And I'll tell you, I don't know if y'all went through this. When I think when the 7th grade was when they would give you help, and they would start showing you help, and they were showing like people that was getting motherfucking syphilis and gonorrhea. They showed one dude's penis, and the penis looked like it was growing cauliflower out of it. Y'all ever see that shit? They showed a dude's penis in health class, and it looked like cauliflower was growing on top of it. And I've told the story many times about my friend who was in Korea and had the bullhead clap, where it would be some shit that grow on your dick that looked like a little frog's head when the shit. And can you imagine you wake up in the morning and you've got a mama son that you've been serving every day, and she worked and you paying her $2-3 to live with you, cook, clean and shit, and she's giving you the bullhead claps. And so you pull it out one day and there looks like a little bullfrog head on your shit. So you go see the doctor, and what does the doctor tell you? The doctor says, oh, I know exactly what that is. And the doctor gave him a black glass. And, he's like, why? His meat is out. So the doctor's examining his meat. And he said, he gives him the black glass. And he says, tell me when you can see through it. So he said, this dude told me he's like looking through this black glass and he's concentrating hard. Like, damn, what am I looking for? The next thing he saw the hammer come up in the air. And he said, motherfucking doctor hit him in his dick while it was on the table. It was on the table. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't, it had to be laying on the table. Hit him with that mallet. Boom! He said the mirror was like, ah! But that's how they got rid of it. They had to really smash it with a hammer. I imagine they had to give him some shots and shit, but that was the story he told me. He says the bullhead. Can you imagine? That'd be a hell of a story in animation, With that, you think is that we just have more access? I think we've always had access. I say it just ain't in our face. And and I don't care what your sexual orientation is, it still should not be like now you're seeing commercials, or at least up here, we're seeing commercials talking about parents with trans children. I just don't think that should be publicized, that kind of stuff. Not to say it doesn't happen, but it's a tough thing to call because, again, they're your children till they're 18, basically. Now 16 in some instances. I think that's when it should be decided, not any younger than that. I just don't think the mind, again, your mind does not really fully evolve until you're 25, 26. So keeping that in mind, I mean, people don't know. That's my only thing is, and as I said before, all I deal with is school books in the library I work for. And every age, the rainbow stuff is geared at every age. So I think that's wrong. Now, people always talked about it. I think so. But as you said, and Lorenzo said, it's, more access to it. Absolutely. More access. Now, you heard that bullhead story. And this is, my gift is people can tell me things and I can live them. I really can. I don't just listen to your story. I actually live the story as you're talking. They do that in movies. The motherfucker get to telling the story and they'll start showing the movie. I see things like that. When people tell me things, I actually see what they tell me. And I can't say that's harmful to me. It don't really, some of the shit I see that they, it's like, okay, whatever. Another shit is like, okay, damn. So it's not necessarily a burden to me. And in instance, it gives me a chance to kind of look at both sides of it. So, but yeah, A&W used to sell these glasses. That does say Killian's. And I love Killian's beer. But this here is very good. I do enjoy it. But yeah, thank you guys that you may leave comments. That's cool. Yep. Jumped and skipped. Well, telling me they want me to get off. Well, I was about to do that anyway. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'll be in next week, next Thursday morning, 12 a.m. Unless, as long as I feel up to it, look for me. And so this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your host, A-Wind, Big Pontiac. Till we meet again, say less.